Okay. So, welcome everybody. Namaskar. आप सभी का स्वागत है on this evening dedicated to the one and only Lata Mangeshkar. Yeah. We'll just start in a few seconds. आप comfortable होके आराम से जहाँ पे भी है, make sure you're preparing yourself for an uninterrupted, musical experience. We'll share stories about Lata ji and of course her songs. Okay, so very warm welcome once again to this beautiful evening. My name is Virat, and without further ado, I would like to call upon my very dear friend Harshal Pulekar. Can we please have Harshal also on the screen?
Namaskar. Good evening. Hi, Virat.
Hi, Harshal. So, for those who don't know, Harshal actually was an IT guy. He did his IT engineering and worked for a very big multinational for many years. And of course, then he realized his passion was music. So, about 13 years ago, he quit his very, very rewarding IT job and pursued music full time. So, he's learned from very senior maestros and has been traveling around the globe and teaching music, conducting programs, India, US, Singapore, Middle East, all over, and holds, spiritual music, devotional music, and old retro music has a very special place in Harshal's hearts and in all our hearts, and that's why we are here today. So, one of the stories that come to my mind, which I want to start with, is how did it all start for Lata Mangeshkar? She's the voice of India. She's not just a playback singer or a voice of some song or some Bollywood movie. She's actually the voice of India. Gulzar says, "Pichle 100 saal Lata ji ke naam hai." And it's very interesting on how it started. Lata ji's father, Virat Mangeshkar ji, was a theatre actor and a classical singer himself. But he would, in the beginning years, he would not teach Lata any music. तो एक दिन वो किसी और को गाना सिखा रहे थे एंड वो उठ के जरा अपने कमरे में गए और ये जो व्यक्ति गाना सीख रहा था वो प्रैक्टिस कर रहा था एंड लिटिल लता वाज प्लेइंग आउटसाइड एंड व्हेन शी हर्ड हिम सिंग शी रियलाइज कि ये गड़बड़ गा रहा है. तो छोटी सी लता जी अंदर आती है और उस बंदे को बताती है कि देखो तुम ऐसे नहीं ऐसे गाओ. एंड उन्होंने गा के दिखाया फिर. एंड इस बीच में उनके पिताजी आ गए और उन्होंने सुना लता जी को गाते हुए. एंड देन ही टोल्ड हिज वाइफ कि हमारे घर में ही इतना बड़ा एक गवैया है और हमें पता ही नहीं है. एंड नेक्स्ट मॉर्निंग लता जी गॉट अप एंड ही कॉल्ड हर, गिव हर अ तानपुरा एंड सेड चलो रियाज करो. एंड डू यू नो लता जी's original name was not even Lata, it was Hema. That was her birth name. She was later called Lata. And she did not begin her career as a singer. She began as an actor. And she didn't like acting much. And then she moved to singing. But what I want to ask you, Harshal, is growing up, what was Lata ji's impact on your choice of music? You once shared with me that you take her as your guru, although you've never really met her. And I'm sure that's the case with millions of aspiring musicians in India. So what did this sound or name mean to you growing up?
Yeah. It's so hard to put in words what Lata Mangeshkar means to me, really. For so many days, I did not have the courage to even post a single tweet on Twitter or put anything as a tribute on Instagram because everything fell short, Because truly, I have considered her as my first guru. And I don't know why, but since childhood, I was so attracted to that voice, that ethereal voice. Something told me that this is perfect. There can't be anything better than this. To me, it was the definition of sur, the perfection of melody. Everything that a singer should have, I saw in her. And Ever since then, I've always followed her songs and tried to sing some of her even difficult songs ever since childhood. And thanks to her, that those things started developing in my voice probably. That I came to start singing some of these things which might be difficult if you don't try them in your early years. Nobody told me to do that. But she was so much part of my life. Those were the days when we had radio. And I would wait for her songs to come. I would hope that you must be remembering those Bela Ke Phool and Aapki Farmaish, and I would think, I hope it is that Lata song. Iski Farmaish aaye to kitna maza aayega. I hope this Lata song comes, and then that was the only time we could get to listen to the song again. We did not have tape recorders at that time or CD players, and then every time those songs came, I would relish them and listen to them more deeper. And every time, trust me, Virat, I have heard any song of hers, I have been awed by the perfection of melody that she carried. And even today, if I listen to Lagda Gale today again in her voice, again the oh my God happens to me. Yet again, I must have heard that song 10,000 times. But oh my God, how can anybody sing like that? And honestly, I feel grateful. भगवान आपने ऐसी आवाज़ बनाई. Thank you so much, कि हम इनको सुन सकते हैं. So many moments of my life that have gone in this awe are because of Lata's songs. When on 6th February when this happened, I was lost, I was thinking that she's so much part of my consciousness. That voice, I have heard her every single day of my life since how many years now, And the only thing is that voice will always remain, of course, though I'd never met her in person, or that voice will always remain. And in a lot of millions of people's hearts, it will remain because it's ethereal. It's an ethereal voice. Nobody can deny that. That is something about it.
So let's hear something from you to start off, and then we'll take the conversation forward.
Yeah. You know what? Yes, everyone has heard a lot of the celebrities and the great people talking about her, and a lot of people talking about, okay, she sang for 7 decades and everything. But there are a lot of singers. There are classical singers who have lived to a ripe old age and sang for 5-6 decades. But what made Lata Mangeshkar,
Yeah, that's the question that we have, right?
Why is
she so great? Like, why is...
Yeah. So, I feel that there are a lot of factors that make a singer great. Okay. Now, if you notice, when Lata started her singing career, first of all, let me tell you this, probably this incident everyone does not know. But in the 1940s, it seems that the record, those gramophone records that used to come, the credit of a song was given to the actor or the actress.
Yeah.
Okay. Not to the singer. Because probably it did not matter who is singing the song so much at that time. There were good singers, I would say, but still it did not probably matter to the people. So nobody ever asked. In 1949, Mahal was released. This is Ashok Kumar and Madhubala starrer. And it had a song by Lata Mangeshkar composed by Khemchand Prakash, Aayega Aane Wala. Okay. This was a voice which India had never heard. Radio Ceylon at that time was flooded with calls. Who is this singer? We want to know who is this singer. And that is the time. Now, this is the first trend that she said. That is the time when the record company started printing the name of the singer on the song. So she was the first person to set that trend. Believe me, it's not a joke to set trends like that. You have to be not just exceptional, you have to be divine to do that.
Wow.
Probably she was just 20 years old at that time when she recorded the song, 19 or 20. You see the class, the maturity, the perfection that she already had. Singers take time to develop their ability, their art, they hone their skills gradually. She was already there. And she remained there for half a century, which again, not everyone could do. See, many singers came and went. They saw their period of fame, then they were, they went into the background. Yeah. But not her. Trends changed, faces changed, music composers changed, everything changed, but she remained constant. And she remained constant without compromising on her singing. If you notice, she would be in that simple white sari in 1940s also, until the last also. Okay, as a person also, if you notice her singing style, she never compromised on purity. Okay, she never thought ki maybe I should sing some cheap songs so that I remain there. She never did that. She always sang the best songs. She sang iconic songs, and she was still there. So that shows the ability of the singer. Another thing, My brother Rashmin, you know him, was sharing with me that day. We talked a lot about Lata Mangeshkar, and he shared that when I was a kid, I used to think of any female who sings should sound like Lata Mangeshkar, because there is no other way a female can sing. And actually, this is true, Virat, because a lot of the singers, even today, if you ask them, their hidden desire would be to sound like Lata Mangeshkar, because they cannot imagine anything better than that. So that is a trend that she has set, and I don't see in the next at least a century this trend changing. Everyone will want to sing like her, at least females. So that's a very big thing, to set that trend. She made a mark. This is how you have to sing, like that. Okay, so what can I say? So, and there are many more factors, of course. There are many more factors. We'll come to them. Everything can't be shared in one chat session. But yeah, so maybe I can sing something and show to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's start with a very, very popular song of hers, which everyone knows. And as a tribute to her, I want everyone to sing along. Okay? This song. Now, before I sing this song, I want to explain, in my viewpoint, why this song is so popular. It's a very simple tune. You've all heard it. Ajeeb Dasta Hai Ye. Okay. The tune is literally, if you look at it, like a nursery rhyme. Now again, why a singer becomes great? Imagine this tune is given to you. The song does not exist. It's given to you. The composer might sing it something like, or show it on the harmonium in those times, something like this. La 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 la. 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 अब आप सोचोगे इसमें क्या है? धुन में कुछ है ही नहीं, कुछ बात ही नहीं है. क्या कर सकते हो इसमें आप? Maybe if it was given to me, I would have sung it like, अजीब दास्ता है ये, कहाँ शुरू कहाँ खत्म, ये मंजिलें है कौन सी, न वो समझ सके न हम. It's in sur, fine, nothing great. Probably आज रिकॉर्ड हुआ, 10 दिन के बाद लोग भूल जाएंगे गाना. 60 साल हुए पर कोई भूला नहीं गाना. क्यों? Look at the voice modulation, look at the technique, look at the approach to the song of Lata, that Lata Mangeshkar has used here. And for her, it was natural. The Ajeeb word, right in the beginning, look at the voice modulation. So she has not sung it straight. So it's Ajeeb, अजीब दास्ता है ये, कहाँ शुरू कहाँ खत्म, ये मंजिलें हैं कौन सी, न वो समझ सके न हम. अजीब दास्ता है ये, कहाँ शुरू कहाँ खत्म, ये मंजिलें हैं कौन सी, न वो समझ सके न हम. ये रोशनी के साथ क्यों धुआं उठा चिराग से, ये रोशनी के साथ क्यों धुआं उठा चिराग से, ये ख्वाब देखती हूँ मैं कि जब पढ़ी हूँ ख्वाब से, अजीब दास्ता है कहाँ शुरू कहाँ खत्म, ये मंजिलें हैं कौन सी, न वो समझ सके न हम. किसी का प्यार लेके तुम नया जहां बसाओगे, किसी का प्यार लेके तुम नया जहां बसाओगे, ये शाम जब भी आएगी तुम हमको याद आओगे. अजीब दास्ता है कहाँ शुरू कहाँ खत्म, ये मंजिलें हैं कौन सी, न वो समझ सके न हम. So if you notice in the song, there are so many ups and downs. It's moving like this. Na 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 na. So she just knew where to throw her voice, where to pull in. And magic happened. Every song that she touched turned into gold because of this special ability she had. You know, another thing is a lot of the singers had few composers with whom they worked with, you know. For example, if a person composes something, not all singers can understand that particular composer's mind. So particular singers like Kishore and Adi, there was this combination. Rafi and Shankar Jaikishan and Naushad, there was this combination, you know. So Asha Bhosle and R.D. Burman was this combination, or S.D. Burman also before that, or O.P. Nayyar for that matter. But Lata was a constant again. Because every composer, be it Anil Biswas or Naushad in those years, or then Madan Mohan, Roshan, Ravi, Shankar Jaikishan, Lakshmikant Pyarelal, S.D. Burman, R.D. Burman, Bappi Lahiri, you know, Jatin Lalit, Ram Lakshman, to A.R. Rahman, she exactly knew what they wanted. Somehow. They say that she was the most intelligent singer we have ever had. She just knew. You know, in Manade, in one of his interviews, he had said, all of us, sometime or the other, had to be told, कि ऐसा करो ऐसा नहीं. But he said, Lata, never. Never was she told what to do. He said she just knew it. You know, that is his extraordinary ability. And you know, those times where, imagine, there were no phones. Everyone did not have a phone. I sometimes wonder how they did the coordination. You know, we can't live without WhatsApp in today's times. 50 musicians, sometimes even 100 musicians are playing for a song. And I'm sure you all know it was not the world of cut paste and technology and auto-tune for that matter. Which singer can sing without auto-tuning themselves today? That was a time when one-take recordings used to happen. You can't afford to keep making mistakes. You can't afford to be a slow learner. She was the fastest learner. Once a tune is given to her, she would just be able to understand and execute it with perfection. So that was another ability that she had, which very few singers could compete with. You know, that's the reason all the songs kept coming to her. You know? Another fact, maybe not everyone knows, is that heroines at that time would sign their contract saying that my voice has to be Lata Mangeshkar. Why did they do that? Because she had a voice of a star. You listen to Lata Mangeshkar, see the confidence, the brightness in her voice. Like one of the composers had said, कि उनकी आवाज़ में सूरज की रोशनी दिखती थी. Such a bright, powerful, radiant voice, you know. I say for a lot of people who understand this term, Pran Shakti, there's a very high level of energy or Pran Shakti in her voice, which I don't see in every singer. It just takes you. Once you listen to that voice, you never forget it. It's like that, you know. It's like that. See, that's the reason why songs like Lag Ja Gale, for example, are being sung even today. But every person sings that song. Of course, nobody can come close to the original. You know? It's like that. You know, talking about Lag Ja Gale, I think Virat is back. Virat, you wanted to say something?
Please go ahead. I wanted to hear Lag Ja Gale.
Yeah. You know, Lag Ja Gale, Virat, we were just talking about this thing, and I'm sure you can also add your inputs if you want to, that there is this genre of songs which only one singer has touched. And that is, it may sound funny to you, but these are songs for ghosts in movies or spirits. These are these spooky songs. In fact, Aayega Aane Wala was also something like that. Madhubala is some ghost or something in that movie, or the hero doesn't know whether she's alive or whatever, you know?
It's a kind of a spirit song.
It's kind of a spirit song. The first major hit which kind of revolutionized the music industry here in Bollywood. Again, Lag Ja Gale is sung by a ghost. Okay. Then which was that song?
Tu Jahan Jahan Chalega.
Tu Jahan Jahan Chalega in Mera Sai, sung by a ghost. Again a super hit song. Kahin Deep Jale Kahin Dil in 20 Saal Baad, sung by a ghost. Gumnaam Hai Koi, Badnaam Hai Koi is sung by a ghost. It was only Lata who could give that kind of a feeling, that kind of... See, simply because she had this ethereal, pure voice. If you ask me, if you ask me what color was Lata's voice, I would say white. It was it was like a diamond, and she loved diamonds. Her voice was like a diamond, so pure, so white. So that's why she could sing patriotic songs, bhajans, spiritual songs, and ghost songs exceptionally well, and also all kinds of other songs. Another song was Mere Naina Sawan Bhado, again for a ghost. So every song for a ghost was given to Lata Mangeshkar, and she was extraordinarily good at those songs. And all those songs are iconic songs, actually. So like Lag Ja Gali is iconic for its amazingly simple sounding melody. But you know the secret? It's an extraordinarily difficult song. Don't stop singing it. You can always hum it. But the layers of intricacies built into the song are mind-boggling. Madan Mohan built such melodies only for Lata Mangeshkar because he knew that only she would be able to execute it. I'll give you an example here. Give me a second. So these little things that are built into a song, why I want to talk about all this, Virat, is that a lot of people may not have learnt music, I understand, but I have faith that what I'm saying, people are getting. People understand, people have a basic level of, it's an innate ability to understand music that is given by God to every one of us. अगर ऐसा नहीं होता ना तो हम लता मंगेशकर को सुर सम्राज्ञी नहीं बोलते. सबने थोड़ी गाना सीखा है, सबके क्यों बोलते हैं कि ये सुरीली है? इसका मतलब लोगों को पता है कि सुरीला क्या है और बेसुरा क्या है कि नहीं? वो इनेट एबिलिटी है. तो ऐसे ही इस गाने में देखो, लग जा गले के फिर हंसी रात हो न हो, शायद फिर इस जन्म में मुलाकात हो न हो. Now this twist, it's so quick, so delicate. I'm not doing it perfectly, and nobody can do it perfectly. In fact, Asha Bhosle in one of her interviews had sung this particular part, and you know what she said? कौन ऐसा कर सकता है बताओ? ये सिर्फ दीदी कर सकती है. देखो ये लाइन के एंड में कैसा किया है. और दिक्कत क्या है वो करने में? एक तो आवाज़ इस तरह घूमती नहीं इतने क्विकली, इतने एफर्टलेसली. उसके बाद क्योंकि वो एक्स्ट्रा पार्ट लगाया गया है वहाँ पर, सांस लेने की जगह नहीं मिलती आगे गाने के लिए. पर लता मंगेशकर की सांस लेने की टेक्निक किसी और के पास नहीं थी, एंड नोबडी न्यू फ्रॉम वेयर शी हैड लर्न दोस टेक्निक्स, बिकॉज व्हेन शी वुड ब्रीथ you could not hear that she has taken a breath. Ask the singers, they struggle to sing her songs because you don't know where she took a breath. She was given very long lines to sing because she had a tremendous breathing capacity. So in the end of the lines, these things happen and you fall short of breath, and then you struggle with the next word. We all struggle, but she never struggled. So that was something very unique to her. So I'll just sing this, and now you observe these things that are happening. Okay. लग जा गले के फिर हंसी रात हो न हो, शायद फिर इस जन्म में मुलाकात हो न हो. लग जा गले पास आइए कि हम नहीं आएंगे बार बार. पास आइए कि हम नहीं आएंगे बार बार, बाहें गले में डाल के हम रोले जार जार, आँखों से फिर ये प्यार की बरसात हो न हो, शायद फिर इस जन्म में मुलाकात हो न हो, लग जा गले को मिली है आज ये घड़ियां नसीब से, जी भर के देख लीजिए हमको करीब से, फिर आपके नसीब में ये बात हो न हो, शायद फिर इस जन्म में मुलाकात हो न हो, लग जा गले
Oh, nice. Yeah, Harshal. This is like soul touching, really. And when you
Thanks.
छोटी छोटी बातें पता पड़े ना, तो you appreciate the song even more. I wanted to ask you, लता जी का एक स्पेशलिटी ये भी था that she was classically trained. And उन दिनों बॉलीवुड को थोड़ा लोअर माना जाता था, क्लासिकल म्यूजिक प्योरिस्ट्स थोड़े अलग अपने आप को समझते थे, but she kind of brought these two together very effortlessly. So how does, I mean, of course classical training helps, but when she's singing, all these masti songs also, she sang so well. So how does what was that speciality की क्लासिकल को भी साथ में, या उन्होंने कई भाषाओं में गाए, जैसे बंगाली में काफी गाया, मराठी में गाया. So how did she carry these worlds together? I've heard amazing praises for her by even serious classical maestros and of course the masses. तो क्लासेस और मासेस को साथ में कैसे कर पाए वो?
वही तो किसी को पता नहीं है ना. वही तो है, हम हैरान होते हैं सोच के कि कैसे पॉसिबल है उन्होंने जो किया है. ये तो मतलब हमारे सोच के ही बाहर है कि ये कैसे किया उन्होंने. इसलिए तो उनको इतना माना जा रहा है आज की तारीख में, क्योंकि कोई और नहीं कर पाया इस चीज़ को. जैसे कहते हैं ना, शी हैड दिस इनेट, अगेन एन इनेट एबिलिटी, कि उनका जो नॉलेज था कितने गाने में, किस गाने में कितना यूज़ करना है. यू नो व्हाट, आई लिसन टू समटाइम्स, आई डोंट लिसन टू मच ऑफ दीज कवर वर्जन्स. आई माई सेल्फ डोंट वॉन्ट एनीबडी टू लिसन माई वर्जन ऑफ लता मंगेशकर, एनीबडी, बिकॉज you listen to the best, but our purpose here is a little different. And she knew कि अपना नॉलेज कौन से गाने में से क्लासिकल नॉलेज कितना यूज़ करना है. Now sometimes when I listen to some of these cover versions, जितना है, I was listening to Piya Tosin, one of the new things that's happening nowadays is like you search for a song on YouTube, Piya Tosin Naina Lagere, one of the iconic songs of Lata Mangeshkar, and somebody else's song comes up, and I'm like, who's this? And they have like 10 times more views, which is very very sad. And that person, out of curiosity, I listened. ऐसा नहीं कि कोई बेसुरा गा रहा है, ठीक ही गा रहा है, but they are doing a lot of these extra things in the song, which are truly not needed. Come on, are you trying to say that Lata could not do that if she wanted to? No, but she knew exactly how much to do. अगर हरकत लेनी है तो कितनी लेनी है वो भी उनको पता था. अगर हरकत नहीं लेनी है, एक इनेट अंडरस्टैंडिंग था उनको कि यहाँ नहीं लेना है, मतलब नहीं लेना है. आपको देखो, लता के किसी भी गाने में कुछ एक्स्ट्रा किया ऐसा कभी नहीं लगेगा, है ना. इट्स प्रिसाइज, परफेक्ट. एंड दिस इज एन एबिलिटी दैट ऑल सिंगर्स शुड हैव. It is just a notion that classical singers have to make everything very complicated. ऐसा नहीं है. अच्छे से अच्छे जो गुणी क्लासिकल सिंगर्स थे उनको भी पता था कि आलापना में कितना करना है, तान कितनी लेनी है, उनको बराबर पता था, इसलिए वो लोग ग्रेट बन गए. वैसे ही लता का, in the case of light music, what we call, I wouldn't say film music because she has covered a lot of genres like ghazals and bhajans especially also, So ऐसा है, उनको एक innate ability थी, इसीलिए तो there is this very famous classical singer called Begum Parveen Sultan. I was reading her interview, her tribute to Lata Mangeshkar, and she said that my father told me, classical musicians are purists, so they don't want all this, like you said, filmy, they look down upon it. Don't listen to film songs. सुनना ही है तो सिर्फ लता को सुनो, he said. सुर उनसे सीखना, बाकी किसी को मत सुनना. Can you believe that? Nobody in their right mind could have said कि लता को मत सुनो. किसी आज की तारीख में तो किसी की हिम्मत ही नहीं होगी बोलने की कि लता ठीक नहीं गा रही है, लता, I don't like Lata, because they know everyone will laugh at them, But even at that time, this is like in the 60s, she had established herself like that. Once पंडित जसराज के एक इंटरव्यू में मैंने सुना था कि he said कि हमने ये सुना था उस्ताद बड़े गुलाम अली खां एक बार कि शागिर्दों को कुछ सिखा रहे थे और फिर रेडियो पे तो बजते ही थे फिल्मी गाने. तो अनारकली मूवी, दैट अगेन वन ऑफ द मेजर मूवीज वेयर वन ऑफ हर बेस्ट सॉन्ग्स, ये जिंदगी उसी की है, वाज बीइंग प्लेड. And he just stopped short and he kept listening to the song, the whole song, And enthralled by it, he said, "Kambakt kabhi besuri nahi hoti." And it's a fact. It's a fact. Typically, like suppose I sing a song and I listen to my recording, and every time I listen, I find more errors in it. But Lata, every time you listen, you go into more awe. Can this person sing like that? That was the uniqueness. And Virat, coming to that point, since I remembered Anarkali, she was the only female singer, and trust me, it was a highly male-dominated society in India in 50s, 60s. For a woman to go to this level was mighty difficult. Okay, but look at her abilities. She could carry entire movies on only her songs. You did not even need a male singer for the hero. Anarkali was out and out Lata Mangeshkar. Mughal-e-Azam was out and out Lata Mangeshkar. Pakiza was Guide still had some great solos of Rafi. Pakiza. You look at Pakiza. Pakiza had 11 or 12 songs. But which are the best songs of Pakiza? Thade Rahiyo, Inhi Logon ne, Chalte Chalte, and then Mausam Mein Aashikana, and one duet, Chalo Dildar Chalo. All the other songs are forgotten. That is the magic that she had, that she had the ability to carry even big movies like Mughal-e-Azam, a movie where Dilip Kumar is the hero, has no solo for Dilip Kumar. Can you believe that? But it was a musical rage. So only she had that ability. So that also makes her very powerful and supreme in that sense, extraordinary in that sense.
So let's hear some more songs. I'm sure everybody wants to listen to more singing.
Song. Okay, let me see.
I have the sea to choose from.
Yeah, it's so difficult to choose. Man, the body of work is so much that 1 hour is so less. Okay. Do you have any suggestion, Virat?
Well, there are so many. You have घर के जो songs थे.
Okay, I'll say
तेरे बिना जिया.
Oh yeah.
That you can sing, or
maybe what? Another of that era of the 60s, which was Lata at her peak. Again, a very complex melody, okay, but executed so effortlessly and made into this super hit song. Okay. हमें मंजूर है आपका ये फैसला जी, हमें मंजूर है आपका ये फैसला। रही है हर नजर बंदा परवर शुक्रिया, दो जहां की आज खुशियाँ हो गई हासिल मुझे, दिल की ये धड़कन ठहर जा, मिल गई मंजिल मुझे, आपकी नजरों ने समझा। आपकी मंजिल हूँ मैं, मेरी मंजिल आप है, आपकी मंजिल हूँ मैं, मेरी मंजिल आप है। क्यों मैं तूफान से डरूं, मेरा साहिल आप है, कोई तूफानों से कह दे, मिल गया साहिल मुझे, दिल की ये धड़कन ठहर जा, मिल गई मंजिल मुझे, आपकी नजरों ने समझा।
Wow, too much.
You know, Virat, trust me, थक जाते हैं एक गाना गा के लता मंगेशकर का, क्योंकि इतना डिफिकल्ट होता है वो एग्जीक्यूट करने के लिए। उसने बहुत एफर्टलेसली किया होता है, पर गाने वाले को ही पता कि उसकी कितनी हालत होती है, वो गाते समय कहाँ कहाँ से आ सकती है।
I was watching her interview. She was saying that when she began, very humble beginnings, didn't have any money, used to travel by local trains, and she would record 6 or 7 songs in a day, back to back, and then next day the same story. But एक चीज मैं definitely share करना चाहूंगा. What amazes me about Lata ji, we see Lata ji as this very simple, short, timid woman, white sari, choti, very soft spoken. But behind that, there was this woman of steel. So I am amazed when I read about her, the kind of battles that she has fought and she stood for. Like back in the day, as you know, Harshal, singers didn't get royalty. So of all people, Lata ji was the first person. She said कि singers को royalty मिलना चाहिए, and thanks to her, the singers today get royalty. Same as you said, नाम आना record पे. To the extent that Filmfare Awards जब शुरू हुए थे, तो only the music composer would get an award. तो रसिक बल्मा के लिए शंकर जयकिशन को अवार्ड मिल रहा था, and he requested Lata ji to sing at the Filmfare Award function, and she said no, award तो composer को मिला है ना, तो आप recording बजा दो, singer को तो award नहीं मिला है. And she would go and take pangas, yaar. Yeah. And they had to introduce a category for
that's right.
Right, for her.
Best playback singer, yeah.
Best playback singer. Yeah. So she didn't care. Like, I was just thinking that if you're excellent, no, the world will bow down in an industry which is completely male dominated at that time. Correct. She took panga with Raj Kapoor, with S.D. Burman, with Rafi, and because she believed for the cause. And all these guys, all these honchos, they had to kind of bow down and agree to her. And she fought these battles. She wasn't the kind who would take no for an answer or say, "Theek hai, jo ho raha hai." Yeah, that to me is amazing, coming from somebody who looks
very straightforward.
But she would fight it out.
Yeah.
To me, that was.
I think she knew that she was indispensable. A person at that level knows. Like for example, पंगे की बात की थी, तो SD बर्मन के साथ क्या झगड़ा हुआ था पता नहीं, कुछ तो हुआ था झगड़ा. So I think 5 years or 6 years they did not sing. I mean, Lata did not sing for SD Burman and whatever. And then SD Burman, of course, had this ability to compose for all singers. He was one rare.
SD Burman is like the king of music composition.
Trust me, he was the longest lasting music composer. 30 good years he gave hits.
Yeah.
But see how it is. he gave a lot of his female songs to other singers at that time. But then finally patch up ho gaya. And look at that, look after that what has happened. He has given every song to Lata Mangeshkar. You know, because who would have sung Piya To Se Naina Lage Re? You know, or who would have sung Hoton Pe Aisi Baat ya Rula Ke Gaya Sapna Mera ya Piya Bina in Abhiman, you know. He knew that this God sent voice is needed. You know, and
Bitai Rehna is also
Lata
SD,
Mangeshkar.
no?
That's R.D. Burman. But
RD, okay.
Yeah. But, you know, I think it's also that the producers, it's a business. You know, they put in so much money. They want the best.
Yeah.
Obviously, because they want the song to become a hit. So they want the best.
Do you feel like singing? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, you tell.
No, do you feel like singing Piya To Se?
No, Piya To Se, you know what? It's a very feminine song. It will not really go in a male voice. And I mean, 1965 Lata Mangeshkar is like, there are no words to describe that sweetness in her voice. You know, it's impossible to capture in words. You just people go and listen to the original Piya To Se Naina Lage Re, and you'll those 4 antras, the execution, and that entire set's dance sequence, and how aptly she sings. You know,
grand.
For a long time, for all the heroines, it was a dream that I would have got to dance like this on Piya To Se Naina Lage Re. You know, many people have said that in their interviews. If there is one song I want to choose, it would be this that I would have liked to enact. So it was like that. Even with Raj Kapoor, the same thing happened. You know, and Raj Kapoor, for that matter. You know, this guy. And he had a lot of clout in the industry.
It seems he told her once that, I'm here to do business. When she was asking for a royalty and all of these things, he said, I'm here to do business. And this short, cute Lataji responds and saying, I'm not here for a walk in the park either.
And you know,
to have that ability. And she clarified that it wasn't that she's commercial minded, but what is her right? She will fight for it.
Correct.
That to me is priceless.
And you know, Raj Kapoor learned his lesson in Mera Naam Joker. Probably that's the only movie he has produced in which there is no Lata Mangeshkar song. It was a huge flop, that movie. And he suffered great losses. So he had to come to her for his next movie was going to be Bobby. Okay. And he knew that if Lata's voice is not there, mera kuch pata nahi kya hoga, mera to khatam ho jayega career. Then Lata said, give me my royalty first.
Yeah.
And then she sang. And see what she sang. See, Virat, we think, no, Lata Mangeshkar is this petite little, that thin voice or high pitch, whatever. But see that Bobby song, Jhoot Bole Kawa Kaate. See that throw in the voice, that first line, and kaan khade ho jate. Kya hai ye? Kaun ga raha hai? You know? There is so much power and confidence in that song, you know. And then Hum Tumhi Kamne, all these songs. Her voice, that touch was a magic touch. Movie hit.
Dilbar Dil Ke Pyare, what throw?
Dilbar Dil Se Pyare again. Yeah, for people who probably think that, you know, she could not sing those sensuous songs.
Yeah.
And okay, she sang only one in quotes cabaret number, and that also turned out to be a masterpiece. That was that cabaret for Helen, Aa Jaane Ja.
Aa Jaane Ja, yeah.
Now listen to her again. This thing of voice modulation that Lata had, no other singer had. Really, you know, the way she enters that note and then expands her voice.
Yeah,
you know? It's amazing. Nobody can do that. You know, I would really like, because I can't do that. I would really like you to go to YouTube later and listen to how just the how she has sung every single time. It's like she's entering. You know, how much control of voice you need for that, you know. And Virat, one more thing while I'm saying this. A lot of the people here are meditators and sadhaks. They do pranayam and everything. You know, just imagine this thing. When you're going to sing, okay, you sit or stand, whatever. Your body has to be very steady for your voice to be in control, first of all. Okay. Your breath has to be very steady. Because you can't keep breathing harsh, you know. Your breath has to be very subtle and steady and yet deep at the same time. Now, when you take a breath in, as a singer I'm saying this, and when you open your mouth and the voice starts, that starting point to hit the correct note, exact with pinpoint precision, you have no idea how difficult it is. You know? Typically, अगर गाना है तो ऐसे होता है. अच्छे सिंगर्स का थोड़ा होता है, पर लता का effortlessly वहीं, as if her voice is already there even before she started singing. This is the feeling I get when I listen to her. It means her mind is already on that sur. You know, she has this tremendous ability to keep her mind still or in the present moment when she's singing. If you listen, she enters a song in a manner which nobody could. There are lots of songs in which she enters in the antara, and it is high. It's in the tar saptak directly. I mean, the whole music has played and somebody else is singing, and then you have to enter, and you have to directly enter on the upar ka gandhar, which is so difficult. She would not falter. It's like her mind and her voice is ready, set there already. That is the ability. This is the ability for yogi,
Yeah.
And this is what inspires me again and again and again to aspire for becoming better, aspire to become better in my music and anything that I do,
In fact, that reminds me of one of my favorite stories, which is from this song, Mere Naina, Sawan Bado.
Yeah.
So RD composed this song in a very tricky rag, and he went to Kishore Kumar. Now, Kishore is one of my favorite singers, and we all love Kishore Kumar. But Kishore said कि देखो ये राग वाग मेरे को समझ में नहीं आता है, पहले लता से गवाओ, and मैं वो सुनूंगा. So he literally heard Lata ji sing that song and copied it. Of course, he did a mind-blowing job at it.
Of course.
And Kishore Kumar, as a mark of respect, would always charge 1 rupee less than whatever Lataji would charge. That is the kind of respect that he would give Lata. But anyway, so Harshal, let's hear some more songs, whatever you feel like singing.
Maybe since you had mentioned this Mere Naina Sawan Bhado, yeah. So it's in a rag called Shivranjani, and it's a very popular rag used in movie songs for sad songs typically. Shivranjani has this characteristic sad flavor to it. Now the tricky part in this song is how, there are these two notes back to back. I can quickly explain it to you. I'm sure you'll understand. There is this note called Gandhar, which we have all heard. Ga, or it's called Sare Ga ka Ga jo hai. So there are two types of Ga. One is Komal and one is Shuddha Ga. So this particular rag uses Komal Ga primarily, but Shuddha Ga can be used in a very beautiful manner. If the composer is good, they know how to use the Shuddha Ga in the right place, in the right manner. Okay. So in this song that happens, like here. I'll give you an example. So Sare Sare Ga. This is a sad Ga, we call it, the Komal Ga. Now the other Ga is Sare Ga. Okay, it changes. So now when both Gas come back to back, they sound like this. Sare Ga, like that. Okay. So this has been used in the antara in the high. Okay. And in Lata's song, which this is not there in Kishore's song, the alap. If you remember, Virat, do you remember the alap that Lata has?
Yeah.
So it starts like this. So in the high, this thing happens in the alap. See.
Yeah, superb, yeah.
मेरे नैना सावन भादो, फिर भी मेरा मन प्यासा, फिर भी मेरा मन प्यासा. मेरे नैना सावन भादो, फिर भी मेरा मन प्यासा, फिर भी मेरा मन प्यासा. बात पुरानी है, एक कहानी है. बात पुरानी है, एक कहानी है. अब सोचूं तुम्हें याद नहीं है, अब सोचूं नहीं भूले वो सावन के झूले. अब सोचूं तुम्हें याद नहीं है, अब सोचूं नहीं भूले वो सावन के झूले। रुत आए रुत जाए देके झूठा एक दिलासा, फिर भी मेरा मन प्यासा।
Amazing, yaar, Harshal.
क्यों?
This was so nice, so nice. Harshal, go ahead, yeah. Let's hear some songs. You know, we can go on. Mm, mm.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll sing this song. So I'm sure a lot of people who are connected to Art of Living and like bhajans are here. There's this very popular bhajan that we sing since many years. Har Har Bhole Shankara.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pang hote to.
Yeah. So a lot of people probably would not know that this original song is a very, very uplifting, happy, bright Lata Mangeshkar number. Pank Hote To Udati Re from 1955, some movie in 1955. I think Azad.
Yeah. Navrang or Azad.
Sehra, Sehra.
Yeah, Sehra.
Again, it was not a very well-known composer, but when they got Lata to sing, Lata would create magic out of their songs, you know. Okay, let me quickly see the lyrics because I don't usually sing this song. You know, I'm feeling happy because typically in concerts, guys are expected to sing guys' songs. So, you know, you don't get to sing all these fancy, very beautiful Lata Mangeshkar numbers. So, I'm happy that I'm getting to sing them now. So, we all, many of us have heard that song as हर हर भोले शंकरा नटराज शुभकरा शशि शेखरा त्रिपुर हर ओम. So the original song goes like this. हो पंख होते तोड़ आती रे रसिया जालिमा तुझे दिल का दाग दिखलाती रे. हो पंख होते तोड़ आती रे रसिया जालिमा तुझे दिल का दाग दिखलाती रे. किरणें बन के बाहें फैलाई आस के बादल पे जाके टकराई. किरणें बन के बाहें फैलाई आस के बादल पे जाके टकराई. झूल चुकी मैं वादे का झूला झूल चुकी मैं वादे का झूला तू तो अपना वादा भी भूला रसिया जालिमा तुझे दिल का दाग दिखलाती रे. हो पंख होते तोड़ आती रे रसिया जालिमा तुझे दिल का दाग दिखलाती रे तुझे दिल का दाग दिखलाती रे. You know, we were talking about the happy songs of Lata Mangeshkar. You know, a lot of the songs in the 50s, 60s, which are very light and happy, right from the song Hawa Mein Udta Jaye, if you have heard that. हवा में उड़ता जाए Mura lal dupatta malmal, aji mura lal dupatta malmal. So this she had this ability to make these light for these songs also so likable, so likable. And she was not loud or boisterous in her singing. It was very shy and very delicate also. But yet that song would uplift you and be played. You know, Virat, this is one singer probably who has become a household name all over India, which is a very formidable task. See, India is a very diverse country. What people like in Kashmir, definitely people will not relate to in Tamil Nadu. You know, Bengalis have their own system of music and understanding what they like, and Rajasthan has their own. But this was one person who reached every household. And you know, when I realized that she was so highly regarded, even in a place like South India, which has their own great singers, like so many great singers like M.S. Subbulakshmi ho ya in film songs Yesudas, S.B. Balasubramanian. But see the regard that was there for her. If you have ever watched this movie Sindhu Bhairavi, which is a very famous movie in Tamil, and Yesudas was a new singer at that time, and he has some amazingly good songs. I'm a great fan of Yesudas. You know, amazingly good songs in that movie. So it's based on a singer's life. In one of the scenes, this singer is always engrossed in singing, and he kind of ignores his wife, so their relation is a little strenuous or something like that, you know. So there is this scene where he's listening to a song on the radio, and his wife is calling out to him and really nagging and shouting at him like, what's going on with you types, and वो डूब गया है तो गाना कौन सा बज रहा है. अब विराट, when you want to create a scene like that, you have thousands of songs to choose from. Which song would you choose? You know, which song was chosen? It is this song of Lata Mangeshkar, which is a private bhajan album which she has sung with Pandit Ridhanath Mangeshkar's compositions, Meera Bhajan. It's something like, I don't remember the exact words, but Nanda Nandana Dhit Paranyamai Savaro Savaro Nanda Nandana Dhit Paranyamai Savaro. It's a exceedingly haunting melody in a rag called Todi. It's difficult to execute. Like we were talking about classical music. She had this ability to sing a classical song in a little light manner very easily and make it so likable. So this is the song he's listening to, and you know, then she keeps shouting at him and says, see, this is how you have to sing. This is how you have to sing like that, you know. And I was like, my God, she has reached there also, you know, where already there are greats. You know? Right. So this was a universality of her voice, universal appeal that she had. And you couldn't think of any other way that a female could sing. So, you know, everyone copied her. Till this day, people are copying her. Okay. That's the amazing thing. No? Again, since we are talking about patriotic songs, of course, the most iconic patriotic song that we know is "Ae Mere Watan Ke Logo." If you ever get a chance, I will forward this link, the YouTube link of the original live recording of hers, which is available. But it has mostly we hear the newer recording, but she had a formidable voice at that time in 1962. It's amazing how she has sung it in live in front of whatever lakhs of people, pitch perfect, and my God, what energy in the voice, you know. So, should we sing a little bit of that?
We should sing whatever. I mean, I just want you to sing.
It's scary to attempt these songs, you know, sometimes.
Maybe a few lines.
Yeah, maybe just a few lines. है मेरे वतन के लोगों, जरा आँख में भर लो पानी, जो शहीद हुए हैं उनकी ज़रा याद करो कुर्बानी, है मेरे वतन के लोगों, ज़रा आँख में भर लो पानी, जो शहीद हुए हैं उनकी ज़रा याद करो कुर्बानी। कोई सिख कोई जाट मराठा, कोई सिख कोई जाट मराठा। I forgot the tune, sorry. जब देश में थी दिवाली, वो खेल रहे थे होली। जब देश में थी दिवाली, वो खेल रहे थे होली। जब हम बैठे थे घरों में, जब हम बैठे थे घरों में, वो झेल रहे थे गोली। थी धन्य वो उनकी जवानी, थी धन्य वो उनकी जवानी, जो शहीद हुए हैं उनकी ज़रा याद करो कुर्बानी। है मेरे वतन के लोगों, ज़रा आँख में भर लो पानी, जो शहीद हुए हैं उनकी ज़रा याद करो कुर्बानी।
Goosebumps, yeah, Harshal. Even today, I get goosebumps when I hear this song.
Yeah, it's really an iconic song, and I think we are. It's already past 9, so we should probably end. You know, there's so many things to talk about.
The good thing about doing virtual shows is there is no venue timing. Nobody's asking us to vacate the hall.
Nobody's throwing us out, basically.
तो करते हैं थोड़ा और if you are in the mood.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, let's sing some duet of Lata, because her duets were also so amazing.
Yeah. And I would request, people watching this on YouTube or, whenever, just sing along, it's the best way to enjoy a song.
Let me quickly get the lyrics and we'll sing.
तेरा हमेशा का issue है.
I know, because
I remember sitting, in front of you with the lyrics written on a piece of paper on one of the shows.
Okay. We'll sing a Kishore Lata duet. तेरे मेरे मिलन की ये रना हो, तेरे मेरे मिलन की ये रना। नया कोई गुल खिलाएगी, नया कोई गुल खिलाएगी, तभी तो चंचल है तेरे नैना। देखो ना, देखो ना, तेरे मेरे मिलन की ये रना। आ, आ, नन्हा सा गुल खिलेगा अंगना, सुनी बैया सजेगी सजना, नन्हा सा गुल खिलेगा अंगना, सुनी बैया सजेगी सजना, जैसे खेले चंदा बादल में, खेलेगा वो तेरे आंचल में, नई दिशा से सताएगी, नई दिशा से सताएगी, तभी तो चंचल है तेरे नैना, देखो ना देखो ना तेरे मेरे मिलन की ये रहना, नया कोई गुल खिलाएगी, नया कोई गुल खिलाएगी, तभी तो चंचल है तेरे नैना, देखो ना देखो ना तेरे मेरे मिलन की ये रहना.
Very interesting that you chose this movie because the movie is all about the supremacy of the female.
Oh yes, I never thought
Abhiman.
about that.
And what beautiful songs.
Yeah.
Piya Bina, and amazing.
Yeah, amazing. That's also one of my favorite. Piya Bina. Yeah. So I think Virat, you know what? There's so much to talk about and there's so much to share. There are many more aspects of Lata Mangeshkar which we have not covered. Everything can't be covered in one talk. We should do more. And as a tribute, maybe, you know, at the end I'll sing a song which is of course sung by Lata Mangeshkar herself, and it is so apt to sing on this occasion. The song's words are "Rahe na rahe hum महका करेंगे," and truly इनकी आवाज़ महका करेगी सदियों तक. जब भी बात होगी गाने की तो लोग बोलेंगे लता को सुनो, इसको कहते हैं गाना. रहे न रहे हम महका करेंगे, बनके कली बनके सबा बागे वफा में. रहे न रहे हम महका करेंगे, बनके कली बनके सबा बागे वफा में. रहे न रहे हम. मौसम कोई हो इस चमन में रंग बनके रहेंगे, हम खिरामा चाहत की खुशबू यूं ही जुल्फों से उड़ेगी, खिजा हो या बहारा यूं ही झूमते और खिलते रहेंगे, बनके कली बनके सबा बागे वफा में. रहे न रहे हम. जब हम न होंगे, जब हमारी खाक पे तुम रुकोगे, चलते चलते. जब हम न होंगे, जब हमारी खाक पे तुम रुकोगे, चलते चलते अश्कों से भीगी चांदनी में एक सदा सी सुनोगे, चलते चलते वहीं पे कहीं हम तुमसे मिलेंगे, बनके कली बनके सबा बागे वफा में, रहे न रहे हम महका करेंगे, बनके कली बनके सबा बागे वफा में, रहे न रहे हम.
I think this is just perfect, yeah, Harshal. Um, I don't know what to say. Thank you and all is very small, but all I feel like sharing is that the best tribute that we can give people like Lata, and I honestly feel it's not even person. There has to be a massive Gandharva energy behind that human body. Otherwise, without the blessing of the Gandharvas, this is not possible. But the best thing we can do is listen to their songs and give them credit, and listen to the originals and
Yeah,
talk
that's
about
very
it.
important. It's
Yeah,
very important.
this generation. The next generation, they'll miss out on the originals. So very important to make people aware of the amazing music that we have, available to us. So, anything you want to
For the
add?
younger generation, let me tell you that a lot of those analog recordings in those times, for today's ears, they might sound a little scratchy.
Yeah.
But try to look beyond that. Just because it feels scratchy, don't say that, "Arey, ye suit nahi ho raha." You know what? Today's generation has been spoiled by machine recordings. That's not how a human being sounds. Trust me. You sit with a singer, he or she will never sound like what you hear today in today's recordings. So much intervention of technology is there in creating some weird effects on the voice, and it's so unnatural. There is cut paste everywhere. I can hear after every one line, two lines, there is a cut and paste. The person is not even singing the whole song. There is so much of auto tune because लोग सुर में गा नहीं पा रहे हैं. ठीक है, तो उससे क्या होता है, आवाज मशीन लाइक बन जाती है. You understand what I'm saying? It is not human anymore. So it's like you try to imagine, will the singer really sound like this sitting in front of me? No. But the analog recordings have that quality. And there's always an element of human error, even though it's Lata Mangeshkar. She's the most perfect voice that you can ever imagine. But probably that's why you feel a little put off ki ye maza nahi aa raha or whatever. But I'm telling you, once you get to know this, you'll get addicted to these songs because these are the best. You can start from the 70s R.D. Burman. That's something which everyone likes, and then move on to probably 60s and even the 50s. They had gems. Listen to all these singers: Lata Mangeshkar, Mohammed Rafi, Kishore Kumar, Asha Bhosle, Mukesh. You listen to everyone. Please do start listening to the. The last thing I would like to share was when I started learning music. My teacher had told me in my first or second class that 75% of good singing is listening, and 25% is your riyaz. And she added a very important thing which I never forgot in my life: listen only to the masters. From that day I swore, मैं बेस्ट को ही सुनूंगा. चाहे वेस्टर्न क्लासिकल है तो मैं मोजार्ट, बेथोवेन, शोपेन के कंपोजिशन सुनूंगा. हिंदुस्तानी क्लासिकल है तो मैं उस्ताद आमिर खान, पंडित भीमसेन जोशी, किशोर यामोनकर, पंडित जसराज को सुनूंगा. फिल्म सॉन्ग्स है तो मैं लता, रफ़ी, किशोर, आशा, इनको सुनूंगा. और मैंने वही किया है. तो आई थिंक इट रिफाइंस योर म्यूजिकल माइंड. एंड I mean, when you have the best, why should you go to something which is mediocre? Why? I give this example that जब खाना खाना होता है हमें रेस्टोरेंट में तो हम बेस्ट चूज़ करते हैं कि नहीं, अपनी पसंद का बेस्ट. ऐसे कुछ भी उठा के खाते थोड़ी है. वही है, हमारे कान भी उस सुरों को खा ही रहे हैं, देखा जाएगा तो. दे आर कंज्यूमिंग दैट सुर. सो कंज्यूम द बेस्ट. You have it available. Why should you watch reality shows and see every Tom, Dick and Harry singing the originals? What is the point? You know, they are not the original singers anyways. The original is far ahead. So listen to the originals. It will enrich your life so much more, really. Yeah. So when you search in YouTube now, because these singers don't give credit to the original, you search any song that say Piya to Sinena Lagere original. Put an original behind the word, you know. And then see the difference. Okay.
So true, so true. So, I'm already getting messages from people that when are we having the next one and this and that. But
surely we should do.
We should do that. And but just to let our audience know, Harshal Bhaiya regularly does shows and he teaches music, and he lives in Bombay. But you can catch him on his social media handles. If you just search for Harshal Pulekar, you'll find him on YouTube, on Insta, all over. And he does many interesting workshops. One of my favorite is Flashback, where we go over retro music. But he's also doing this very interesting workshop on voice modulation. So if you want to stay in touch with him, please check him out on these handles, and you can directly get in touch with him if you would like him to invite him to come and sing. But from my side, of course, I'm going to keep inviting him. And once the lockdown is over, hopefully he sounds 10 times better without the restrictions of Zoom and all of that. When he's live, he's definitely so much better. And I'll tell you one last thing. The reason, according to me, why he sounds so special is because he meditates. Harshal has been meditating for more than 20 years now. And वो साधना है, वो रियाज भी उसकी साधना है और spiritual practice भी साधना है. So keep meditating, and let's just pray for Lata ji's soul, and keep listening to great music. Thank you so much.
Yeah, the best prayer would be, Virat, keep listening to her.
Yeah,
keep listening to her. And thanks Virat for planning this. And it's always fun to talk to you regarding music, because you're one person who understands, and you're a lover of old retro music just like me. So it's nice. We can go on for hours and hours. Someday we should sit. No, next time we should really sit next to each other in the same place and converse.
Absolutely.
Sing, so we'll see something like that.
We'll do that next time.
And maybe we can call 1 or 2 musicians also and do something in a more grand manner.
Let's do that. Yeah? We'll plan something like that.
Yeah, we should do something.
You guys can leave your comments. What kind of session would you like to invite Harshal Bhaiya? He sings so many different categories. So you can leave your comments on the YouTube, and take care. Good night. Namaskar. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Namaste. Bye, Harshal.
Bye.
Can we save the recording? Karan, are you there?